quiet moment in the lounge, so we'll have a look at something over there. So this is the system I've been working on for 10 years or more. There's an awful lot to talk about. I'm just going to pick one piece of kit out of there for a minute, but just got to show you the challenges. So the piece of equipment I'm going to talk about has compromises, and if you want to see what dealing with compromises is about, this room is absolutely crazy. So the back of the room there, the kitchen area, that's the smallest part, it's the narrowest part, and then the whole thing gets wider. So the ceiling gets higher, the walls get wider on both sides. So you've got this absolutely mad acoustic challenge to work with. So it's been really quite something to try and get around that. Anyway, so let's just have a quick peek and see what we can see. The custom speakers that I made, crumbs 12, 13 years ago now, they've been through quite an evolution. The Quicksilver monoblocks, we custom pre, this lovely little passive pre, I'll do a post on that as well. Power supply for the custom pre, little musical fidelity CD player, the blue sound there, clear audio, phono stage and power supply, clear audio turntable. That definitely needs a post on it. Setting that up is really interesting. But this thing here, so I've done a couple of posts on the Chord Dacs. This is what I'm favouring at the moment. I got this for a good price and I'm absolutely stoked with it, the Nad M51. So yeah, I mean, this game is all about compromises and all about, you know, finding a best fit solution, and I really like this. It's a great piece of equipment. I'm all about simplicity. I know it doesn't look it, but I really am. This has very few inputs, but it's got what I need from it. So it's got a couple of coaxials, digital. I think it has an HDMI, and not an awful lot else. And that's the way I like it. I don't really want to spend a lot of money on functions that I personally don't need. So I've mentioned in another post that our other favourite DAC that we have is a Bryston BDA1, which arguably is the best sounding that we have, but possibly this little Nad here is just pipping at the post of that. I think there's something that's really working for me on this. The input resolution is not tremendous. I think it's 24-bit, 192 kilohertz. I could be wrong there, but about that. So it's not, you know, breaking ground with the inputs. It does do a lot of app sampling, but for the rest of it, it's pretty simple. It does have a rather complex remote control. Check that out for a DAC. There's all sorts. So this is kind of one of these universal remotes that does everything. It's not the worst remote we have, but it's I wouldn't call it the best either. But I don't really use it. I don't really feel the need to. I've got the one input button here. Now there is something nice to set up on this though. You can use this as a pre, but you can also fix the volume out, and it gives you an opportunity to set that fixed volume, which is great. So I've got it set appropriately for the other source, sort of, you know, if you know what I mean, sympathetically to the other source, which is the turntable. So when you're switching inputs, you don't get a massive change in volume, which is great. So that's why I like it. I think it does all of the things that I want it to do and nothing more. So I mentioned the Bryston BDA1, the BDA2, and particularly the BDA3 has so many functions on there and so many inputs that I will never need. And so from that, you know, I'm thinking, well, is it really worth shelling out that big money for something which I'm only going to use part of? Yeah, so I really do like it. Let's see if we can just have a quick flick right into the back there. I can't remember, but basically, so yeah, so there's a USB in there. There's an optical in, which I'm using on the CD player at the moment, and then there's a coaxial, and there's pretty much not much else down there. It's pretty sparse. But like I said, that's the way I like it. It's just nice and simple and does what it needs to do. And for sound, yeah, I'm really happy with it. It is really nicely detailed, as far as I can tell, as detailed as that chord Q test. But it does have character. It's got something about it, and I really like how it plays and how you know what I play through it. Vocals seem to be really nicely center stage and really full bodied. Staging sounds great even in this room, which is pretty, like I said, it's pretty challenging. So I think that's a wonderful bit of equipment. I think brand new was about 3,000 Kiwi dollars. I don't know what that equates to in your world, but I'm sure you can work it out. And for that money, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm sure there's bigger and better out there, but this really does it just fits my immediate needs, and no more and no less. All right, cheers.